Welcome back to Los Angeles. This is Tech Take, where news and technology collide. And if you heard about the new thing that Amazon's talking about doing where potentially a drone will deliver your latest purchase, well, that is absolutely a possibility in the coming years. And we have a couple people here to talk about it and whether or not that is something that is financially viable and if it's something we'll see, or is it just kind of one of those Jetson things that are out there that never really happens, like the flying car. Joining us now, we have two people to talk about it. Eric Yaverbaum, he is the chairman of Erico Communications. You can find him at Real Yaverbaum. And also joining us via Skype is Amish Shah. He is the founding partner of Sierra Maya Ventures. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. You can find him at the Amish Shah on Twitter. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Great to be here again.
Thanks, Adam.
I want to go with Amish first because you're coming to us via Skype. How likely is this? I mean, we heard about this yesterday, the day before, and it was really cool, and some of the concepts and some of the cool graphics that were out there. But, I mean, is this something that's really viable?
Absolutely, Adam. In fact, it's going on now. It's, what all Jeff Bezos did is just bring more public awareness to what's actually going on in the world. I mean, it's going on commercially all over, agriculture, mining. It's going on in other countries. We're just a little bit more further back with the FAA rules right now, what's happening. But it's coming. I mean, what we look at here as an investor really is what are the next top and what's going to be disruptive for the future.
And as an investor, we're very bullish on a company called Skycatch. And if you look at what they're doing and how safe they're trying to keep everything, and if you look at everyone behind it in the venture capital world, there's $40 million already invested in this for the future. So it's coming. I mean, in 2015, it'll be huge, but it's going to bring in more jobs. The economy alone is going to be about 13 to 14 billion is what we're thinking, up to 100 billion in the next 2 years, just because of what's coming on with the drones. So I expect a lot more job creation. I expect about 100,000 jobs being created, half of those just in manufacturing alone.
Eric, again, the concept sounds great. I mean, the old concept really goes back to the stork delivering the baby. But let's be candid here. I mean, a lot of the things people buy on Amazon, whether it be food like Amazon Fresh or something larger like a TV. I mean, a drone's going to deliver a watch. A drone not necessarily can bring your groceries and drop them off at your front doorstep.
Yeah, well, look, I've been in PR for 30 years. It was a brilliant piece of PR on 60 Minutes the night before Cyber Monday. Look at Amazon's cash register as a result of 14 free minutes of advertising. Yeah, drones are going to be in the future. They're not going to be flying all over the air like the Jetsons in 2015. FAA alone is going to, and the rules and the regulations and the realities of the battery or a bird or people, them flying all over the highway and being distracting. It's brilliant, brilliant PR. And that's all that it is. I know investors are getting into this, and they should, but it's at least 10 years away. I would say more like 20.
Amish, the one thing I will echo Eric on is the fact that we've covered the drone story here for a number of years, obviously the military implications and now the more private implications, even shown a couple of drones here on the show. But we do know that there are a lot of concerns. A lot of communities are either passing rules outlawing them to spy and that kind of thing. And you have the airspace issue. I mean, being able to track and keep track of these drones, potentially getting in the way of other things in the air. I mean, there are a lot of security questions when it comes to just making sure our air is safe and secure and not running into each other, so to speak. So to think this is viable by 2015, isn't that pushing it a little bit?
You know what? Let me jump on a couple things. Let me answer your question first, and let's go back to what Eric said. Eric is definitely right. It was a big PR stunt by Amazon. We're talking about 2015. What's going to actually happen is it's going to be a little slower. It's definitely going to happen. What we're talking about is drone highways. When Amazon shows that video of it getting picked up from the conveyor belt and then dropping at your door, that's not going to happen. Eric's definitely right about that as well. What is going to happen, let me go into some things that you've been involved in. If you think about the Japanese earthquake, tsunami that you're a part of when you're reporting, and I think you got about 70 miles close. Think about now a drone could get those photos and get even closer and not worry about, anyone losing their lives. So it's going to be big on disaster recovery. It's going to be big on search and rescue. And when I think about search and rescue, I think about mining, right? Think about another story you covered back with the Chilean miners when they were trapped down there. Think about that would have never happened if we had a drone down there. So it's going to be a lot bigger in construction and logistics and agriculture. When we get back to the public safety event, how I look at it on the privacy side, people are just freaking out. I mean, when blimps started, you know, no one really worried. They talked about it. I mean, there's airplanes, there's helicopters out there. Right now, if you go on Google Maps, you can probably see my house. You go on Google Earth with the street view. So it's already out there in certain causes. I think a lot of people are watching a lot of these movies and seeing what's out there. They need to do a little bit more research on what's really going to happen.
Yeah, but you got to, like, kudos to the PR agency or the PR person who dreamed this up and placed him on 60 Minutes. You know, that's a great story. Boy, did I like watching that as a consumer. The reality of it is, you know, for agriculture, yeah, it's great. Even in the news business, just like Amish said, absolutely correct. There's a lot of applications that drones can be used for, but, you know, the visual and the B-roll that Amazon created to wow all of us so that we're all talking about it makes them a market leader in e-commerce. And, you know, as the saying goes, if you don't make dust, you eat it. They just left everybody in the dust with 16 minutes on 60 Minutes.
Yeah, Eric, I think that's a question for both you guys. I mean, can you question 60 Minutes a little bit, too, here? I mean, knowing that Cyber Monday is the next day, knowing that, come on, anybody who has any background in this at all knows this is not going to be the case by 2015. You're not going to see drones flying around and landing at your house, dropping off groceries. It's just not going to happen. It may be in the future further down the line, but so there may be some questions there about 60 Minutes. Again, you know, airing a story that's obviously a PR stunt. It's a cool graphics. It was a cool video they put out, but the viability of this happening in the next 2 years is really not likely.
Well, you know, I don't know. Question 60 Minutes. I don't think it was an investigative piece. And look, Amazon lives in the future, or at least their chairman does. That's where he wants to be, in the future, and that's where he is. I don't know, maybe he even believes it, but, I mean, logistically speaking, you know, FAA regulations alone, like, our laws will not even be caught up like they will be, like, in the UK or Australia or China to regulate, you know, where everything can go. It's just not happening. But, you know, 60 Minutes, no, they didn't question it, and we all were rah-rah, and we signed on to Amazon on Monday morning, and we bought our stuff there. And look at, for the first time in retail history, Cyber Monday was bigger than Black Friday, which means that all of our shopping habits are changing. Now they're online. And look who owns that space, Amazon.
And let me augment upon that a little bit. Eric, great points you brought up. And, you know, let's talk about what's going on. Google's testing this right now. UPS is testing this right now. FedEx is testing this right now. There's, like I said, about the big VCs like Google Ventures and Andrews and Horowitz are backing these companies out there. This is happening. I agree on the shipping like you guys are talking about. What I see more happening is picture your FedEx truck coming in or UPS truck coming in on your street and about 5 to 10 drones coming out, or more use causes of what I see is potentially just a drone highway. And I keep talking about a drone highway. They're actually testing one out in San Francisco right now, which the city of San Francisco is behind. It's called airhighway.org if you want to check it out. And really what they're doing is testing this, making sure the safety's there, making sure everything is going to be working for the future. When we get back on Amazon, they're spending $6 billion a year just in shipping. So for them to even crack that in half is a big savings for them.
Yeah, but you want you know, ironically, and this is a really boring story, is they deliver on Sunday now. They're testing that in New York and L.A. That, so nobody's resting on the 7th day. They will deliver 7 days. They're testing in New York and L.A. right now. That's brilliant and that's boring, but Sunday delivery's coming. That gives them a 7th day to deliver. That's big and that's boring.
Sure. Let me tell you what else is coming, since you're bringing on home delivery here. There's actually another company that we've invested in that's in stealth mode, so I can't mention the name. But what's coming, and they're going to take a lot of business away from Amazon, we feel, is not only are you going to get home delivery, you're going to be getting home delivery with you within an hour, within 2 hours, maybe 3. You're going to order something in the morning, and it'll be there 7 days a week, and it'll come from your distribution center. That's more realistic. We want to talk about what's reality. The drones won't be here by 2015. What will be reality is you'll be able to get your food, you'll be able to get your milk, you'll be able to get your watch, you'll be able to get your dog food, all within an hour, maybe a couple hours, and it'll start off at all the major cities.
Right. All right, well, we appreciate the conversation. We'll definitely see how this all goes down, especially with the whole drone situation. And I think you guys both made some really good points. I think we all can agree that the drone highway, while in production, is not necessarily going to be delivering Amazon goods by 2015, but there's a lot of other applications out there, and I think we look forward, of course, Amish, also to the company you were talking about as well. Maybe we can talk about that when it's not so stealth in the coming weeks.
Yeah, Amish, I would like to
Carolina.
do PR for your investments. You sound like a smart guy.
Thanks, Eric. Well, let's stay in touch now that we're connected on Twitter. Thanks, Adam. Great being on the show.
No problem. Amish Shah, founding partner of Sierra Maya Ventures. You can find their website, sierramayaventures.com. Also, he is on Twitter at the Amish Shah. And you can also, of course, find Eric Yaverbaum. Had him on here before many times, chairman of Erico Communications. His website is ericopr.com, and you can find him on Twitter at The Real Yaverbaum. Thanks, guys, for joining us.